You will not believe what just happened on Spotify, because one man just quietly broke a record that literally nobody saw coming. And the internet is losing its mind right now. So here's the deal. Spotify has officially overtaken Melon as the second most used music streaming platform in all of South Korea. Let that sink in for a second. South Korea, the birthplace of K-pop, the country with its own massive domestic streaming giant. And Spotify just walked in and took the number 2 spot. That alone would be huge news on any normal day. But that is not even the craziest part of this story. Because when you dig into who actually made this happen, one name keeps popping up over and over and over again. And it is not a rookie. It is not some viral TikTok sensation who blew up overnight. It is a member of the single biggest boy group on the planet. And the numbers behind his name are honestly kind of insane when you actually sit down and look at them. We are talking about Jimin. Yes, that Jimin, from BTS. And according to the latest reports circulating right now, Jimin is the artist with the most cumulative days at number 1 on the Spotify Korea charts in history. We are talking 826 days, not 826 streams, not 826 fans voting in some poll. 826 days sitting at the very top of the chart. Do the math on that for a second. That is over 2 years of his life, combined across different songs and different eras, where he was simply untouchable at number 1. And it does not stop there, because one of his songs specifically has become the longest-running number 1 track on Spotify Korea of all time. The song is called Who? 548 Days at number 1. Almost a year and a half where this single song refused to leave the top spot no matter what else came out, no matter what other artist dropped, no matter what the algorithm tried to do. 548 days. That is not a fluke. That is not luck. That is a song that people simply kept choosing to play, day after day after day, for over a year straight. And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but that is just one guy, what about the group as a whole? BTS, as a group, also holds the record for the most cumulative days at number 1 on the chart among groups, with 558 days combined. So you have the group dominating at the top, and within that group, one member individually outpacing the entire group's total on his own. Let that sink in. Jimin's personal number is actually higher than BTS's group total. One person, more days at number 1 than the entire 7-member group combined managed to rack up together. Now, if this was the only thing going on, it would already be a massive story. But this is where it gets even wilder, because Spotify itself just confirmed something that has honestly never happened before in the platform's entire history. Jimin has now surpassed 7 billion total streams on Spotify across every single credit to his solo music. Not features, not group songs, solo credits only. 7 billion. And here is the part that is actually breaking records in the truest sense of the word. With this milestone, Jimin has become the first and only Korean solo artist in Spotify's entire history to reach this number through solo music alone. Not the first idol, not the first K-pop artist in a certain category, the first Korean solo artist, period, full stop, in the history of the platform. Think about how many Korean solo artists exist. Think about how competitive that space is. Think about how many songs, how many comebacks, how many viral hits have come out of that industry over the years. And out of every single one of them, across the entire history of Spotify, only one person has crossed 7 billion streams on solo work. And it is Jimin. People online are calling him the king of Spotify right now. And honestly, when you look at the receipts, it is hard to argue with that title. There is a video that has been going around showing him smiling, completely down to earth, casually walking through an airport, while the caption behind him reads King of Spotify, number 1 trending globally. And the crazy thing is, that is not even exaggeration for clicks. That is literally what the charts were showing that day. But let's talk about something even more mind-blowing, because this is not just a Korea story anymore. This is a global story. There is data currently circulating that breaks down Jimin's chart performance country by country. And I need you to really pay attention to this part, because the numbers here are genuinely shocking. In Chile, he is sitting at number 1, and his peak was also number 1, with over 249,000 streams. In Venezuela, number 2, peaking at number 1. In Belarus, he has been holding steady at number 1. In South Korea itself, he climbed up to number 6 on the overall chart, up 1 spot from before, but his peak there has also been number 1. In Japan, he jumped a massive 20 spots on the chart, up to position 61, with his peak sitting at number 1 and streams climbing by over 8,000 in a single tracking period. In Thailand, he is at number 49 with a peak of number 1. In Singapore, top 18, peak number 1. In Taiwan, another top 50 position, again peaking at number 1. Even in places like the Czech Republic, Costa Rica, Paraguay, and Uruguay, his songs are either re-entering the charts or climbing upward. And in almost every single one of these countries, the peak position listed next to his name is the exact same number, number 1. Do you understand how rare that is? Most artists are lucky to hit number 1 in their own home country. Jimin is peaking at number 1 across an insane spread of countries on completely different continents, with completely different languages, completely different music tastes, completely different streaming habits. And somehow, his music is breaking through in all of them at the exact same time. And remember, this is happening without a new solo album, without a big flashy comeback, without a world tour currently promoting a brand new single. This is catalog music, older releases, songs that have already been out for a while, that people are still choosing to stream over and over in country after country, years after they first came out. That is the difference between a song that is popular for a moment and a song that has actually become part of people's permanent rotation. Now here is where things get even more interesting, because it is not just fans keeping this going. Korean media outlets themselves have started reporting on this, and they are specifically calling out Jimin by name in serious industry coverage. According to recent reports, Jimin has been named as one of the key artists contributing to the overall chart share of his label in one of the most closely watched monthly rankings in the entire Korean music industry. A ranking that tracks which companies are performing best across the charts for that particular month. And the specific thing these reports keep highlighting is his song, Who, landing at number 6 on Spotify. Now, why does that matter so much? Because that recognition is coming despite the fact that there has not been a brand new solo release from him in a while. Think about that. Industry analysts are specifically pointing out that his music is still performing at a chart-topping level, years into its life cycle, without any new push behind it. No new music video, no new promotional cycle, just the raw staying power of a song that clearly connected with people on a level that goes beyond a typical release cycle. That is the kind of thing that usually only happens to legendary songs. The kind of song that gets played at weddings decades later. The kind of song a random person hears in a coffee shop and immediately pulls out their phone to Shazam it, even though it came out years ago. That is the tier of staying power we are talking about here. And when you step back and put all of these pieces together, here is the full picture that is honestly hard to wrap your head around. The most cumulative days at number 1 by any solo artist on Spotify Korea. The longest running number 1 song on that same chart. A group record for cumulative days at number 1 that his own individual numbers actually beat. Being the first and only Korean solo artist in Spotify's history to cross 7 billion streams through solo credits alone. Peaking at number 1 in an enormous list of countries spanning nearly every continent on Earth. And still being cited by name in serious industry rankings for his ongoing chart contribution, without a new album currently driving any of it. If you tried to write that as a fictional success story for a made-up pop star in a movie script, people would say it was unrealistic. They would say no artist actually does all of that at the same time. And yet here we are, watching it happen in real time, tracked by actual streaming data, actual chart positions, actual industry reports. So what is actually driving this? Why is a song that has been out for a while still hitting number 1 in country after country, right now in 2026? A lot of people online are pointing to the same handful of reasons, and honestly, they make a lot of sense when you think about it. First, there is the live performance factor. Clips from recent performances have been circulating heavily, showing him commanding massive stadium crowds, and every single time a clip like that goes viral, you see an immediate spike in streams right after. People watch the performance, get chills, and immediately go pull up the studio version to relive it. That is a direct pipeline from viral video straight into the streaming numbers. Second, there is the sheer size and loyalty of the fan base. This is a fan base that is famous for its organization, its dedication, and its willingness to stream consistently, not just on release day, but for years afterward. That kind of sustained, long-term listening behavior is exactly what turns a song into a permanent chart fixture instead of a one-week spike that disappears. Third, and this is the part that a lot of casual listeners underestimate, the actual quality and replayability of the music itself. A song does not stay at number 1 for 548 days by accident. Algorithms do not force people to keep clicking play on the same track for a year and a half. At some point, that number becomes a reflection of genuine, organic listener behavior. People are choosing this song again and again because they actually want to hear it. And finally, there's the global reach that this entire wave of K-pop has built over the past several years. What used to be considered a niche genre outside of Asia has completely exploded into the mainstream, and Jimin's solo work is landing right in the middle of that wave, at a moment when Western audiences, Latin American audiences, and Southeast Asian audiences are all simultaneously more open to this kind of music than ever before in history. Put all of that together, and you get exactly what we are seeing right now. A perfect storm of loyal fans, viral performance clips, genuinely strong music, and a global audience that is more receptive than ever, all combining at the same time to produce numbers that frankly look unreal on paper. So the next time someone tells you that streaming records do not mean anything, or that chart numbers are just meaningless internet noise, show them this. Show them the 826 days at number 1. Show them the 548 days for a single song. Show them the 7 billion streams, and the fact that out of every solo artist Korea has ever produced, only one person has ever hit that number on Spotify. Show them the list of countries where he is peaking at number 1, from South America to Asia to Eastern Europe, all at the same time. Because at the end of the day, numbers like these do not lie, and they do not happen by accident. They happen when an artist manages to connect with people on a level that goes far beyond a single hit song or a single trending moment. They happen when the music itself becomes something people genuinely want to come back to, over and over, for years. And right now, in 2026, without a brand new album, without a massive new promotional push, that is exactly what is happening with Jimin on Spotify. The king of charts, quietly and consistently, breaking record after record, one stream at a time. So tell me in the comments, did you know these numbers before watching this, or did this completely blow your mind the same way it blew mine when I first found it? Because honestly, the more I looked into this, the more insane it got.